Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to start it out for our team with a quick overview of our project. You guys can come closer. We're not shy. Our career day at Graham Middle School involved great collaboration amongst our team and Graham's staff. The principal himself was directly involved in the project because he had wanted to do a career day, but he hadn't had the resources amongst his staff. This project builds on prior events hosted by LMV classes. There were two that were held at the elementary level. Our day that we all had as a class dealing with an overview of the educational system in Mountain View really showed us the extraordinary options that are available to Mountain View residents. It also sparked a need for other learning, and we thought deeply about the middle school level, and that sparked our project that you see here today. As feasible, we do aim through this project to develop this into an annual career day. And there are some things we'll talk to you about later on where we have created a toolkit to allow this to be turnkey for another class or other volunteers to be able to carry it forward. On the day itself, we had 23 presenters from a diverse field, different backgrounds. They all shared their journeys, their sometimes circuitous and sometimes straight paths to their career that they loved. We presented an all-day event to the eighth graders for every eighth grade course period, consisting of approximately 250 students throughout the day. Next slide. Shown on screen here are the key actions that the team took for a successful career day. We also developed the toolkit that I referenced for future use. Rue will be talking about this in a couple of moments. The career day overall was well received and contributed to the students' early awareness of career and training options. The team here really aimed to show that careers are not just about money, that you can take different pathways to a career that you'll truly love. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Julia, who's going to discuss some of the student feedback that we received.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. My name is Julia Petersen, and one of the first things when we talked to the principal, he mentioned that he was really interested in having some surveys to engage the students both before the event and after the event. So this is part of the pre-event survey. You can see that almost 80% of kids had already had some sort of conversation with a family member or a friend. Next slide, please. And another question we posed to the kids was, do you have a sense of what you want to do? And we had them rank this on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, I absolutely do not have any idea what I want to do, and a 5 being, yes, I definitely know. And as you can see, most of the students selected a number between 3 and 5. So a lot of them did have some sort of idea before going into this event. Next slide, please. During the post-event survey, the quantitative data didn't change all that much, but we got some really lovely quotes. Some of these included, "I never knew people could be bad in school, but then improve and have a good job." Another student shared, "My biggest takeaway is that we don't have to know what we want until we find what fits us." And so, as you can see, students kind of, even if they knew what they wanted to do, they still were gaining a lot through this career day. Next slide. And I thought this kind of summed it up really nicely, that you may not truly know what you want until you try. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Katie.
Thank you. In preparation, we prepared, next slide, you already did that, thanks. We prepared an information sheet for all the panelists telling them where to park, where to come in, tips on answering questions and timing and so on. The school and the PTA provided us great support. They even closed the library for a place for us to all meet together before the PTA provided us snacks so we could mingle before it was time to attend the sessions. And as was said, Principal Benavides and the teachers attended the sessions. And we'd like to thank the Leadership Mountain View participants, many from our class and also some alums who participated, and LMV showed a broad range of careers to the students. There were people who had careers in tech, hospitality, healthcare, business, local government, law, and so on. In advance, we circulated some potential questions for the panelists so that they would have time to think about them a bit in advance. Some questions that they were asked to talk about to the students were, when you were in 8th grade, what did you think you were going to do when you grew up? Another one was, what is your educational background and what kind of special preparation did you need to do your job? And describe what pulled you, what attracted to your chosen field. And of course, the students also added their own voices and their own questions. Next slide. Sorry, I forgot. And next one. One more. And then, so the experience of the panelists. So I served on 3 panels, and I was representing a lawyer and especially working in local government. And from a panelist's point of view, it was interesting to try to figure out how to distill a career in a way that might be interesting to a middle schooler. Some common themes from the panelists were that careers are journeys. Your first job isn't necessarily where you're going to end up being. A lot of people talked about how they followed their passions and ultimately got into jobs that really suited them, even if they didn't start that way, and the importance of working with people that you truly enjoyed working with. Rue, to you.
Next slide. So this project, this team, and this cohort have really turned out to be an amazing gift. Our goal going into this was to introduce 8th graders to new career opportunities. And along the way, we wanted to really create a turnkey project that had all the tools that would be needed for another group to follow after us. We assumed, of course, that would be LMV cohorts in the future. And to do this, we had quite a few pre-event projects that we created that are ready to go to the next team. From things from just how to organize the meetings with the school, with the principals, how to organize, how to reach out, who's going to reach out, who's going to do the communicating, to the day of, info for the panelists involving how to get there, how to check in, what's going to happen while you're waiting, how to communicate with 8th graders, and then so on and so forth. The follow-ups, the bios, all of this is prepared to just hand over to the next group. Now, we did learn a couple things along the way. First being, the first day back from spring break may not be the best day for 8th graders to really engage. Number 2 would be sample questions and scraps of paper. Now, we kind of learned this as we went because we were there all day. So the first couple of periods, it was really tough dragging it out of them. But then as we got paper out there, as we kind of got them more engaged, then they began to open up. And I think by 4th period, they were really actively working with us. And finally, had we had just a bit more time, we were working under the school schedule, would be to really reach out to additional trades, additional careers to really kind of broaden the scope of the representation. Now, we got a couple of bonuses out of all this. We thought it was just going to be all about helping something for Mountain View going forward. Turns out the Mountain View Educational Foundation and Graham Middle School were eager for something like this and are excited, and we're going to be following up with them after this to really be able to take this. And they never had the means and the wherewithal to actually make it happen, so we were able to kind of move that forward. Things they've always wanted. Next slide. And finally, our final bonus here was really all of the people that participated. It was an opportunity for them to give back and really kind of through their stories and experiences share with the students. Now we have a poster which we'll share afterwards here. These are some of the kind of parting thoughts that the panelists left for the students, which has been shared with them. But to kind of put a final bow on this gift, I wanted to take us to the final slide, please. Principal Benavides really kind of left us with the best quote. Leadership Mountain View's Career Day certainly sparked inspiration and broadened horizons for our 8th graders. Hearing real stories from diverse professionals helped students see new possibilities for their future and understand that their dreams are within reach. It was a powerful day of connection, curiosity, and motivation, much like Mountain View leadership. Final slide. Thank you for your attention today. Appreciate it.